Grounded 2 has just had one hell of a weekend, with a whole host of new announcements at Gamescom and finally an update today. This is update 3 for Grounded 2. It's been an awesome weekend of great news for the game. We've got a massive update coming towards the end of the year with a new Tarantula boss variant which looks absolutely insane. Loads and loads of new buggies, loads of armor pieces, loads of stuff is coming with a new area to be unlocked as well. We do have a full video on what is coming and what was announced at Gamescom, and that'll be out tomorrow at the same time. So that sounds good. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and stick around for much more Grounded 2 content. Now this is the update 0.1.3, so the third update since the game released back in July, which is good. That's what, 4 weeks and 3 updates that they've done. So hopefully they continue at this pace, adding new quality of life features, bug fixes, and improvements to the performance overall. This one is not a massive update, but there's a decent amount of stuff in there. If you are playing on PC, you will notice the performance is so much better with this update. They say that they've got an estimated 30% performance gain compared to version 0.1.2. So that was the last update, which is great. Loving what they're doing. A lot of hard work is going into this game, and the update that is coming towards the end of the year is going to be insane. Now for this one, there's been a few quality of life features, but most of it is revolving around bug fixes. Quality of lives are simple. Snail shells automatically despawn, game repair options for fixing saves, creature reset options, reset buggy options, which is good because the buggies do tend to bug out and disappear sometimes, or they end up getting stuck in a building or something as you're going up and down the stairs. Plenty of times I have mine get stuck inside my actual build itself, which is a bit annoying. I should probably put them away, but that's kind of my own fault. But yeah, there's also been save data limits. That's now been capped to 10. And 1.2 update, they put a limit on the amount of saves a player can have per world. Before this update, you can still have hundreds of saves, but now they're noticing various performance issues because of this change. They recommend deleting unneeded saves that you do have on the game to get even more of a performance update. Now with the bug fixes, there's a host of those on there that come to quests, the park, and other bits and bobs, as you can see. But one of the major bug fixes that they've done is stability and improvements to the game's performance overall. They've said there's a 30% performance gain compared to the last update, and they're in early access, so they continue this throughout development, as well as tons of crash fixing. They've resolved crash triggers when the Orc Wave is available, crash when accessing various UI menus, and several other crash scenarios. So addressing crashes is a massive thing. I think that was one of the big things that almost killed Generation 0 when it was in early access. Now, if you are new to the channel, that was a game that got the channel started. It wasn't done by as big a studio, but it was an offshoot of Avalanche when it first released, and then they branched off into a separate studio. So overall, I think getting crashes and stability is just, it's tip top in early access. That's going to be what's keeping people in the game and at least trying it. I mean, if you haven't got the quest there and there's a roadmap available, you know what's coming. I think a lot of people are willing to sort of wait it out a little bit when it comes to the performance and things like that, as long as that main gameplay loop is there and working. Now for quest fixes, there are only one of those in this one. If you've completed the mixer before doing the Orc Receivers quest, we'll now have all of the quests up to, wait, there's more, to be auto-completed upon completion of the mixer quest. So basically, if you haven't gone out and got all the radios, I think that is, the Orc Receivers, when you do a quest later on, it does create issues, which I am currently doing all of the receivers because we have gone a little bit into the statue and got kind of stuck. So that might be it. I'm not too sure. Now for your builders out there, this is a good one. I find it really annoying so far, and I'm not a big builder. I've done a decent amount of building. I do want to do a bigger build at some point, but not quite yet. And that is resources respawning through your actual house and encampment. It is so annoying when you've got a big house built and there's a grass root that you just can't get rid of because you've built over it, but it's come back. And now having that out of the way, oh, that's going to be so easy. I have some grass which is blocking my stairs. It's really fucking annoying. I'm glad they fixed that. But you do have to chop down any resources that are currently growing through your base. So you will have to go around and clean up if you do have that issue. Once you've done that, it won't return though. Orc creatures now remain stationed at their guard posts instead of free roaming, which is good because being caught off guard by those things is a nightmare, terrifying, and you get your ass handed to you. There's also issues where players were prompted to repurchase Pebblet Foundations. That shouldn't be there anymore, which I did almost fall for that, so hopefully people haven't done it because it was quite an expensive amount of science. I think it was 2,000 raw science you needed, and that got you the Pebblet Foundations again, even though you'd already bought them. Now there's also a small section on buggies and combat. Now combat and the buggies in the game are something that I think have been handled with extremely well. They work really, really well. The buggies, considering that this is the first time they've been introduced to the game, they're absolutely phenomenal. I'm not really having any issues. Sometimes your ant gets a little bit stuck, but other than that, they work well, they perform, and they're enjoyable to use. Now, if you are going deep into customizing your character and focusing on those mutations and milk teeth, all that kind of stuff, well, this is going to be good because they've changed a few of the mutation ways. So now, beforehand, you could only equip 2, and it'd lock you in at 2, even though you had a 3rd slot, which was really annoying. It happened on mine. So hopefully this has fixed that. But once you'd saved and reloaded a game, those 2 were permanent, and I couldn't change them for some reason. So hopefully that is something that's fixed. Now, bugs related to losing equipment. Mantis should no longer freeze in midair during its jump attack. I will say, him freezing in midair is really, really helpful, because that Mantis is an ass. That is in the next video that we're going to do. I'll put a bit of the footage in here. It's a fucking nightmare. I hate that thing. I'm not looking forward to the Tarantula boss, because the Mantis was just terrifying. Yeah, no, biggest thing I've seen so far. Then there's also bugs where certain Orc creature cards could not be retrieved after defeating them, and this fix should be retroactive to your save file. So if you do need creature cards for something and it's not loading in, this should fix that as well. Then there was a couple of other little bits through audio and UI, but overall pretty good update. There's a decent amount of stuff in there, and so far from playing, I've played about an hour with this update on. I've noticed a massive change in performance. It's working a lot better. Computer's not having to try at all, really. It was a little bit beforehand, but now it's working all right. So that's brilliant for me. Performance is something that I really enjoy. I'm playing any sort of early access title. If it doesn't perform well, like I said earlier, that is going to be a big thing for a lot of players. If you haven't got that starting performance right, people are just going to be turned off. Whereas you can launch with really not much content. People will get bored quickly and complain, but if performance is good, that's normally the best start, to be fair. Now, what do you guys think for Grounded 2? I'm enjoying the content of it so far. We've done a load of stuff. We've got a little bit more coming. I have been relatively slow out the gate. I've been really busy at the moment. Lots of work stuff going on. So now a lot of that has calmed down. Kids are going to go back to school, so I'll have a lot more time to get stuck in and get more videos out there quite regularly. So usual time is 10 o'clock on Sunday through to Thursday nights. If you want to see anything in particular, let me know in the comments down below. On our second channel, we're currently covering Fallout New Vegas and loads of other stuff there, so check the link tree in the description. For now though, we are going to wrap that one up. I've been Wired, you guys have been awesome, thanks for watching, and stick around for more Grounded 2.